How do you start investing into bonds to build up some passive income even if you're just getting started into the entire investing game? Now, the first thing is this, guys. You don't have to be in your 60s, 80s, 100s just to start investing into bonds, because everyone out there says, you know, Tommy, bonds are for old people. You invest into bonds when you're like getting older, not right now. You can take more risks. Well, the answer is this. That is great. But yes, I do still invest into bonds. And guess what? I get paid every single month because of my bonds, okay? Not quarterly like stocks, but I get paid every single month. And on top of that, it helps balance out my portfolio in case the market does fluctuate. I'm secure because I know bonds aren't as risky as stocks are. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I invest into bonds and how you can do the same, and why it's actually better. Well, not better, but why it's actually an option to consider while investing into stocks also. And on top of that, guys, if you guys don't know me, my name is TommyBryson. I'm an accountant. I post videos every single day. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And the most important thing in this entire video is basically hit the like button, okay? Really appreciate it. But here's a question, guys. Have you ever bought a bond? Comment down below, let me know. I want to see how many people have bought a bond, and then comment down below also your age when you bought that bond for the first time, because for the first few years of my life, I was not interested in bonds. I thought they were boring, but now obviously I have changed my mind over the years, you know, because obviously bonds are a very smart investment if you know what you're doing. So yeah, comment down below, let me know. So the first thing I want to clarify here, guys, is, well, Tommy, what is a bond? You know, we are talking about bonds here, so why not clarify that first before anything else? And here it is, guys. A bond is basically like a loan made to a company, made to the government, that pays you back on a fixed rate. But it can get very complicated because the fixed rate stays fixed while the price of the bond actually goes up, dependent on the demand and dependent on where you're actually selling it. Now, I'm going to explain that later on in the video, but for right now, I do want to say this, guys. If you want to think about a bond, it's basically, for example, say for example, a company like Apple needs a ton of money, like say like maybe like $10 billion. Well, they need all this money, they need to fund it, right? So how do they fund it? Well, they put out there they need this money, basically like a loan in a sense, and then you buy a part of that debt, and guess what? Now Apple owes you money and they pay you a fixed rate on that debt every single quarter, every single month, depending on how the terms actually are for that entire debt. Now, you can only get that money back once the debt actually matures, which basically means when the debt is over, they pay you back. But while it's going on, well, you're basically getting paid interest on that debt, that bond you actually own. So in reality, you're making money back while you wait to get your money back when it actually is due. And you might be thinking, well, Tommy, why do people say bonds are better than stocks and they're more safer and all these fancy stuff? Well, the answer is this. You know, the average bond in the market, historically speaking, pays out around like 5% every single year, or grows by 5% every single year. But stocks grow an average of like 7 to 12% every single year, which is obviously higher, but stocks are more vulnerable to fluctuations while bonds aren't. Now, here's why they aren't really that fluctuating in a sense. Well, it's because this, right? Say for example, you buy a T-bill, right? It's a treasury bond from the entire like government, right? You bought this thing, this bond here, and the only way you can not get paid is basically if the government defaults, which is awful, or if the entire government just goes down. Now, what's the likely chance of a government going down? Well, it's very slim at this point, but what's the likely chance of you buying a junk bond, which is basically like a bad bond, and that company going bankrupt? Well, it's higher. The risk is higher, obviously. But I do want to say this, guys, right? Whenever you buy a bond and the company goes bankrupt, if there's anything left over once it's liquidated, bondholders get paid out first before common shareholders and even before preferred stock shareholders. So that is a good thing when you think about that. But the worst case scenario is you never want it to get to that point. So you want to make sure you invest into the correct bonds before you put your money somewhere that you might regret. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why later on in the video. But before I get to that, comment down below and let me know if this video makes sense so far. If it doesn't, comment down below, let me know. And if it does, let me know what part makes sense and what part I can actually improve in. So then that way I make these videos a little better every time I make them. Now that we understand what bonds are, how they work, why they're safer than stocks, I really want to get into, well, Tommy, how do I start investing into bonds? And the answer is this, guys. To start investing into bonds, you can actually, you know, buy ETFs like through Vanguard that are made out of bonds. You can actually buy bonds directly from the government, or just buy bonds from brokers and all that fancy stuff to actually get into the entire market. Now, you can also use financial apps like, for example, like Robinhood, M1 Finance, Acorn for the ETFs and partial shares. But here's my thing. There's something called OTC, which is basically over the counter. Basically, when people want to sell their bonds before they actually mature, they actually contact brokers who actually do this, and then there's an entirely brokish over the counter sell of bonds that's taking place right now. So the only way to actually get into that market that aren't really traded into the stock market is only through brokers, okay? But it can get very complicated really quickly, and here's why, right? You know when you buy a stock and it says like, hey, free trading fees, like you don't pay any trading fees, great, right? But for example, whenever you buy a bond over the counter, the trading fee, the commission for the broker is actually included inside of that entire price, so you never really know how much the broker is actually charging you. And the only way to actually get that information is by comparing the historical price of the bond before the broker sold it to you, so you can actually calculate how much money is he trying to charge you for the bond. So this is a little hot tip here and there. Not a lot of people know about this, but now you do, so now you're like 10% ahead of everyone else out there, okay? But I really want to break down, well, Tommy, what are the pros and what are the cons to investing into, well, bonds, right? And the answer is this, guys. Number one is this. The pros, you got consistent returns, right? So over a historical period of maybe like 100 years, we see that, you know, they pay out like around 5% every single year, which is great, and they don't really fluctuate that much because, again, the only way to make this fluctuate a lot is when companies go bankrupt or they default on the loan, which hurts them a ton. So they don't really want to do that unless you get tricked into buying bonds from the wrong company, and then now you're kind of screwed and everybody else have kind of bought into it, okay? I'm going to break that down later on in the video, but for right now, the second pro is this, guys. You can actually sell bonds for a profit before it actually matures. So for example, everyone thinks, oh my gosh, bonds are so slow and boring, but in reality, if the demand is high enough, you can actually sell your bond for a higher price and make a profit. But here's where it actually gets tricky, right, guys? Because it's all based on demand. For the price, it goes up, you know, demand bad, then goes down, great, we understand that. But here's the catch, guys. If you bought a bond, right, and you paid like $1,000, and now the market has, like, you know, inflated the price to maybe like 1,100, well, that's great. The price went up, so you just made $100. But in reality, the yield, the interest rate you actually get paid from that bond stays the same because, again, it's fixed. So in reality, the person that bought it might think like, oh my gosh, I just got a lower yield than the person that actually bought it in the beginning. But in reality, it's all because demand drives up the price, but the bond yield or the interest rate stays the same because that is fixed. Comment down below if that makes sense, because again, that's very important that you actually understand that part. Now, the third thing is this, guys. The only way to actually lose your money from bonds is through really two ways, okay? If the company chooses to default on the bond, then you're kind of like out of luck. If they actually go out of business, then you're again out of luck. But if they do have some liquidation assets, then you can actually get your money back in that way. But in reality, here's my thing, guys. You want to make sure whatever company you're investing into has a good reputation, because if it doesn't, then you might just be out of luck. Because again, some companies out there, they do some tricky stuff. I'm going to break it down later on in the video, but for right now, just know that some companies out there do some tricky stuff to kind of get you to buy bonds, and then all of a sudden, they disappear. Strange? No. Now, the cons, right? Because everything has cons, so let's break them down. Well, the first thing is this, guys, right? You're kind of locked into this bond until it matures, unless you actually sell it on the second market, which is basically like over the counter. But you might sell it for a lower price dependent on the demand. So for example, if you bought a bond and now it's not in demand, the price might drop, and you might not get the money you originally paid for it. So only buy bonds when you're secured and you actually want to make sure you can actually reach the maturity date. Now, number two is this, guys. You get lower returns on stocks. Now, that's not surprising. Why? Because again, lower returns usually means less risk on bonds. So that might be a con for you, but for me, it's kind of like, okay, I'm expecting that, okay? Now, the third con is this, guys. Interest rates affect bonds. So for example, if interest rates go up, usually bond interest rates also go up, and that might be a bad thing, and here's why. Because if you bought a bond and you're locked in for a coupon rate or an interest rate of maybe like 2-3%, and now all the other bonds are offering like maybe 4-5%, well, now your bond looks less attractive, so you might have to sell it if you plan on selling it for a lower price than you originally bought it for. So again, be careful with interest rates and make sure whenever you buy, you're actually buying at the right time by looking at all this information prior to actually buying. Now, to explain this con, I kind of have to explain to you guys what the S&P ratings actually are. So for example, you know how you're a person, I'm assuming, okay, I'm not judging you, but if you're a person, you probably have a credit score. A credit score lets companies know like, hey, he's worthy, he's not worthy, blah, 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 great, 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 right? Same thing for the S&P ratings for companies. So for example, if you see a company with a very low S&P rating, you can actually look this up online. It might tell you like, hey, maybe don't buy a bond from this company because they're not actually worthy and they might default or they might go out of business, okay? Those are all ratings. Those are all like little points here and there so you can actually make your decisions. So for example, if you see a company out there offering a very unrealistic yield on a bond, that might be a sign that, hey, maybe don't buy it. They might just be wanting to collect money while they still can't to cover all the debts they actually have, and then further on just like default on everything, because again, you can look at all this stuff basically through the high yield they're actually offering and also their entire S&P rating. So make sure you always take a look at all that stuff, because again, they can default and they can go bankrupt. These are all things that can actually happen, and if it does happen, then you're kind of out of luck if you made the wrong decision. So again, make sure you check out the S&P ratings. You can actually find this online. Now, you're probably asking me, well, Tommy, what can I do to actually build up passive income, and what are you doing? So for example, for me, to actually build up passive income through buying bonds, what I do is this. I don't buy from a broker or E-Trade or Robinhood. I just buy through Acorn. So for example, I buy partial and fractional shares through Acorn in ETFs that contain bonds. So in reality, my portfolio is like 80-20, so I invest like 20% bonds and then 80% stocks. So right now, that might seem a little aggressive, and it kind of is, and I kind of like it that way. So then that way, when a market downturn actually happens, I might switch it over to like maybe like 40-60, but for right now, 20-80 sounds very well, because again, I'm buying now because it's not really that attractive, but in the future, it will get more and more attractive. And guys, here's my thing. You can actually buy bonds directly from the governments or directly from like companies or like over the market, whatever you want to do. So you can do all those options. But for me, what I do is this. I invest with Acorn and I buy like two of them. You know, I buy corporates and I buy government bonds, and those pay me like around $2 every. By the way, if you want all the details, just check the description down below. I have all the details, like the ticker symbol, how much I paid for them, how much I get paid, all that fancy stuff. But basically, here it is, guys. I get paid around $2 every single month from my bonds. And you might say, Tommy, this is nothing, okay? This is nothing. Well, it's nothing now, but it keeps reinvesting, and I keep putting in $500 every single month. So eventually this will grow and grow and grow into a big nest egg that will eventually be responsible for giving me a lot of income, passive income in this way, and that way I can actually make a ton of money from it. So you can actually do the same thing. And again, guys, remember, it takes time, because again, these ETFs with bonds cost between like $80 to $126. So again, they're not cheap, okay? So just slowly keep building and building and building. That's why I use Acorns, and that way I can actually buy partial shares. Now, guys, comment down below and let me know so far, what are you going to do? Are you going to invest into bonds, or are you not going to invest into them? Comment down below, let me know. And guys, here are my final thoughts, okay? The reason I invest with Acorn is because, you know, I can buy like $500 worth of like investments, right? ETFs. And it basically takes my investments and buys me bonds and stocks, and that way my portfolio is actually like, you know, like balanced out, and I actually get paid dividends every single quarter, every single month, depending on which one it is, and actually reinvests everything, and that way it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. So you can do the same thing. You can actually sign up. I have a link down below. And guys, as always, thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, go ahead and like the video. It helps the channel out a ton. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And on top, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, uno, just DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. But before I go, click this video right here to see how much money I made investing 6 months into Acorn, or click my face right here to subscribe to the channel right now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Thanks for watching, and peace.